everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Dori, I'm a teacher of English, and today I would like to talk to you about some very important linking phrases that you use in your writings, and if you don't use them, you should, because they're really very good linking phrases. So, most students get confused with these phrases either in relation to their meaning or to their syntax, but today I'm going to clarify the differences with very simple examples. So these phrases are although, despite, in spite of, and however. Let's clarify one thing, first things first. These phrases have exactly the same meaning. They are synonyms. They all mean even though, or if you prefer a simpler translation, they mean but. However, they do have different syntax, and this is what we're going to see today together with these examples. Okay, these are very useful phrases to use, so let's go and see their differences with very simple examples in order for you to understand them and remember them. So let's start with however. If you use however, remember that you're about to say something different from what you previously stated, and always remember to use a comma afterwards. Punctuation in writing is very, very important. So, for example, we have he is very tall, full stop, and now you're going to say something different from that. That's why you start with however, and a comma immediately afterwards. So, he's very tall, full stop, however, he still can't reach the top shelf. Now, let's move on to although. Although, it means exactly the same thing, but it has different syntax, as we said. Although doesn't need a comma immediately after, but only at the end of the sentence. So, let's see. We start the sentence, although he's very tall, and now we use a comma, he still can't reach the top shelf. So, can't you see the difference with however? Although starts the sentence and the comma is at the end of it, at the end of the first sentence. You will never use a comma immediately after, although this is a very important punctuation mistake, okay? So you will never do that. Now, let's move on to despite and in spite of. They mean the same thing and they have the same syntax that I will now show you. So, what's the difference, you would ask me? The difference is that in spite of always needs the prepositions in and of, whereas despite needs nothing. As we can see, it's by itself, just despite. So, let's look at the examples of their syntactical use and you will understand this better. So, despite the fact that, this is one way of using that. Despite the fact that he is tall, comma, he still can't reach the top shelf. Or you can also use gerund afterwards if you don't want to use the fact that. So despite being tall, comma, he still can't reach the top shelf. So if you want to use in spite of instead, since they are used in the same way in terms of syntax, we will have in spite of the fact that he is tall, comma, he still can't reach the top shelf, or in spite of being tall with gerund afterwards, comma, he still can't reach the top shelf. So there you go, this is how you can use these linking phrases without making any mistakes. Start using them in your writings today. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it helps. If this is your first time here, I would like to see you subscribe for more videos related to English. If you have any questions or comments, you can ask me here or on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and of course my website. All links are down below. Thank you very much for watching again. Take care. Bye-bye.